Hello.
We're here.
I, I'm a little up today.
Please don't adjust your television. That is me. Oh, look at that.
Wow, service
Just got a
with a smile.
cup of water handed to me.
I'm a little up today, as you could see when I hit those things. I thought we were live, but we weren't yet.
The camera's doing something weird today.
But here we are.
Hey, Facebook. I just got a notification that Tweed Talks was live. Tweed Talks is live.
We're not only live on Facebook, we're also live on YouTube.
We are everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're cornering the market.
Oh. So, today was a little hard for me because, we went and got vaccinated, and some people get affected by it, some people don't.
We got shot number 2.
I kind of knew that it was going to happen because I wasn't sleeping much, but it hit me, and I was my back was hurting, and it took me a little while to recuperate, and by a little while I mean a day.
Yeah.
Then I had to go to work today, and when I was working today, I noticed that when I was patting the kids for the thing, they felt a little heavier.
Oh, okay. So you're still not 100%.
Yeah, not 100%. You're gonna take a couple of days, but I'll be okay.
My side effects were a little more mild.
Yeah, but you sleep a lot.
I sleep a lot, and the night before, right before I went to sleep, I made myself a cup of hot water, lemon, honey, and I put like 4 or 5 drops of cayenne pepper in it. Drank it, went to sleep, slept well. And then Sunday, as the day wore on, I started to feel,
Look behind us. Look at our daughter over there.
flu-like symptoms. Yes, Layla's making some salmon in the back. And today, it's interesting because I've heard a couple people say after they received the vaccine, they felt like energized. And I was like, what? What are they talking about?
You felt energized.
Lo and behold, this morning when I woke up, when I tell you, I know this may sound a little cliche to say this, but I felt like $1,000,000. I woke up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'm just going to use every cliche that means really good right now. But I felt, hey, Daryl, I felt so good.
Wow.
And I still pushed myself to work out yesterday.
Yeah, yes.
So I didn't break my day. Yes, 48 out of 21.
I worked myself into the bed. That's what I did.
You needed it.
Yeah, I needed the sleep.
Do we have our flu? Goodness gracious, our.
No, I don't have that.
We don't.
No, we probably put it up next time.
Okay. It's pretty funny. We documented our vaccines.
Well, that's going to be on the end of film.
Okay, so we're not going to show it to them?
We're going to show it. That's going to be a clip from the film.
Ah, I like it.
So Daryl is here.
Us
Hi,
too,
Daryl. How you doing?
Us too. I had like a low grade fever and sort of like a dull headache, and it was more annoying than anything. You had a fever.
I had a fever.
You definitely had a fever.
And the thing with me is that I never get sick. I never get sick, so I didn't know how to handle it. I became a baby. My wife took care of me. And all I did was sleep, and she just got the stuff for me, and took care of me.
I made you homemade chicken soup.
She really took care of me, which is good. I tell you, to have a good partner is a good thing. If you're going through whatever you're going through, having a good partner is a good thing.
Yes.
Like I see how she brought me home some water.
That's my cup, by the way. So, Pedro mentioned that he hadn't been sleeping, and Pedro does not sleep very well at night. And I keep trying to get him to go to a sleep study, and he won't do it. So if you guys think, everyone who's watching, if you guys think Pedro should go to a sleep study, make a comment, and maybe you guys will help me convince him that he needs to go to a sleep study.
The reason I get up early is because I need that time to myself so I could write. That's when I do my writing, and that's when I do my Tai Chi. But what I got to do is go to bed earlier because I always get up at the same time. Regardless, if I go to bed at 12 o'clock, I get up 5 or 4. If I go to bed at 11, still get up 5 or 4. So my body's just used to getting up at that time.
But can't you train your body to do other
Sure,
things?
you can. But when the time changed, then I started getting up earlier because my body, clock is at the same time.
I see no
Now-
one's commented yet, so you may have a stay of execution.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm very excited because I've been hearing about Suza for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think we met in New York. I'm going to ask you about that. I think we
Okay.
met in New York
Okay.
when there was the meeting that we went to for the movie Made in Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
Made in Chinatown. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not absolutely sure. We met so many people. It was going. I thought they said that she was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's not, we heard about some of her films, and we talked to
Mm-hmm.
some people on the film. We'll bring it up when she comes on.
Yep.
So I'm excited because we talked to one of my former gymnasts that is a woman director, and she has a thing with woman director.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right? Paige.
Oh, Paige. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Paige.
I worked under a woman director.
The last film.
A few times.
Yeah.
When I did that black box, that was a female. It was an all-female cast.
Okay.
Well, in New Paltz, when I did that theater, it was an all-female cast.
Oh well, I thought we were talking about Can You Keep a Secret?
Can you keep? Well, that wasn't the last
I
one.
was
But yes.
I was trying to keep a secret. Okay, so listen, we talked enough.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna bring her on
Yes.
because we got a lot of things to talk to her about.
Oh, you are so lucky. No one said they wanted you to go to a sleep study. You are so lucky.
Let's see what she said. She will direct me.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Susan.
Hello, Susan.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Let me tell you something that, and my wife said, as I was making the video, the promo video, she said, she's cute.
Well, when I was looking at your pictures and I looked at a lot of your Facebook pictures of your gymnasts, you have an interest in gymnastics as I do. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my type of people. And so is Crystal is so cute as well. Because I was like, wow, look at these guys, the glamour people. So I really enjoyed looking at your pictures and especially the gymnastics because up until last year, I guess I had got back into gymnastics as well. So
I think I saw a video of you going there.
yes,
That's an adult class, huh?
yes. So I was taking my daughter many years ago, and then I saw these adults doing gymnastics. I'm like, adults don't do gymnastics, and they're like, yeah, we've got an adult class. So I was really bitten by that, and then I started doing gymnastics. So I kind of love it. It's just something I wish it's one of the sports. I don't watch sports. I participate in sports, but when I watch gymnastics, I'm just like, oh my gosh, these guys are amazing. So I'm a big fan for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we own a gymnastics school.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The Summer Olympics is coming up.
Yeah, so
That is one of the
ready.
things that swimming and gymnastics, those are the two main things that we watch. Obviously, because gymnastics, because that's what we do. But it's just you just look at the athletes. I mean, all of them really, and they're just such amazing people.
Absolutely, yes. As I said, I love gymnastics. It's amazing. So it's one of the best sports, and it's a very difficult sport to do. I mean, the amount of control, muscle control, and just strength is, and then power as well. So you kind of need everything for that. One.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You need flexibility, you need strength, and then you need grace to make it look like it wasn't that.
Like it's easy.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'm so glad because I was looking through your page and then I saw that adult class and I said, whoa.
The adult class is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So, how did you get into movie making?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I think probably like most of us, we were just total big fans when we were kids, and I used to watch movies, and I always used to try to guess, who did it type thing. So I was always trying to, figure those things out. So I've always had an interest, and then I got into martial arts, and then and I was always into gymnastics. I was a sports person, I guess, in school. So as I kind of got older, then it was like, okay, I was a professional singer, and I always had to make videos of myself to get auditions. So I was always working with a camera. And then I decided that I wanted to kind of do corporate videos. And then from corporate videos, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a movie. How hard could it be? Yeah. So that's, that's kind of how I've eventually just a natural progression. And film is one of the areas that if you're an auteur type filmmaker, which I am, it enables you to bring all your skill sets together. So I love kind of martial arts. I love gymnastics. I love action, but I'm also a musician and I compose music. So it also enables me to use that side of my creativity. So there's a lot of things that can come in together when you're putting a project together.
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's
I love
awesome.
that. You said corporate videos.
Mm-hmm.
I have done many of those, and I understand you saying you can bring your skill set to film, because with corporate videos, you cannot do that. You cannot do. It's very dry. It's very straightforward. It's usually jargon that no one speaks that way in everyday life. So I know exactly what you mean when you make that point.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, as you'll know, Crystal, it's quite different. And if you're a creative, having the ability to try to visualize something that doesn't exist, and then a year later it does exist, which is always kind of cool.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Corporate videos do pay quite well, though.
Yes.
And that's why we do them.
They do. They do.
She's the queen of corporate video. So you did martial art for a while?
Yes.
You still practicing martial art?
I just finished class like half an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I've done Taekwondo for a number of years, but I also did additional martial art. I started kind of with kickboxing, and then I did some, I can't remember what, a different discipline. I don't remember what it is now, but some Jeet Kune-Do and just a little bit of it. And I was had to do that for some of the work that I was working in. So yeah, so I've done a little bit, but Taekwondo is the one I've kind of done the most, and I've competed as well. So I'm a
that's good.
National level champion, I guess. That's not international, but national.
National.
Love that.
And were you in Canada? Is that where?
Yeah, I'm in Canada right now, and but I grew up in the UK. So my heritage is African and English. So that's where my ancestry is, and grew up in the UK, and I traveled all over the world, and then I'm here in Canada now. Wishing I was somewhere warmer.
Oh boy, please! In upstate New York in February, when we got 3 feet of snow within like a day and a half, we wished we were somewhere else.
I bet.
It was so strange. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So I want to talk a little bit about this award you won.
Okay.
There's a few of them. This is the one in 2018. You were awarded the Martial Arts Movie Producer of the Year.
Yes.
In Venice, Italy, at the Martial Arts Hero Awards. That's awesome.
Well,
so tell me a little bit about your experience at that with that award.
Okay. Well, that I don't know if you've been to Venice, Italy, but it's amazing. So just being there was just an amazing experience. So the first is the venue was amazing. We were a little bit outside of Venice, but then we kind of a lot of the martial artists, Cynthia Rothrock, I think Dunn was there. I'm not sure. I think Dunn was there. Sifu, Samuel Kwok. So a lot of the martial artists were there internationally, and it was kind of like the first one I'd really attended, and I was just like in my element. I was like, oh, I've seen you on television, and you're like, and it's still kind of weird, but people I've admired for many, many years and watched their shows and their movies. So that was it was just an amazing show. I mean, it was just like family. We just had such a good time. I ate way too much pizza, but who cares?
I mean, you were in Italy, right?
Yeah.
So
it was in Italy. Yes, it was in Italy. So that was it was a phenomenal event. I really take my hat off to Marcelo and all his the rest of his team who put that together. It was outstanding, and I'm very fortunate to say I've had another invite for October of this year, which
wonderful.
Please come along. It's amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Please come with us.
Okay. She's giving me
Crystal, I see. You're going to come, right?
I love how Suza just started dropping names of martial artists, and she said Don, no last name needed, and we just automatically knew who she was talking about.
Yeah, everybody knows. Yeah. So it was an amazing event, and it's great to connect, because as I grew up, we said, my heritage. I grew up in a very small town in the UK. There wasn't a lot of people of color. In fact, there was maybe three of us, and
wow.
And I was the only with African heritage. Not many. Many people in Manchester, but in my little town, I was it, and martial arts was the one thing. When I watched the martial art movies, I was like, oh, I see all these amazing athletes, people of color. And I think it was what really inspired me, and what I just have this, immense respect for the martial artists. So it was, those group of people who were doing those movies don't realize that, kids, like when I was a kid, they're just really helping kids, and just
right.
Yes.
They'll have no idea. It was maybe just a movie to them, but for other people, it's something that more. Yeah.
And I like the subject matter on your last film.
Which one? Sorry.
I like the subject matter.
Oh, the last one. Okay.
On the last one, Honorable Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable Sin. That's inspired by actually a true story, and.
Yes.
I was on Facebook, and I was watching, and I saw this story of this gentleman, and I read his story, and it just perplexed me for many weeks, and I just kept thinking on it, and what it came down to, I will tell you succinctly what the movie is about. The movie is regarding the very delicate or invisible line between revenge and justice, and do people have their own definition of it? I've asked a lot of people, just out of purely interest. I said, well, what's the definition? And a lot of people have difficulty making a very, definite line. So I think that really kind of sums up what the movie is about for Honorable Sins. About how do we, as people, we want to think that we're good, we're law-abiding, we're fair, we're for justice, and how do you, where do you put that category, where does it lie? And it was very perplexing, and because I had problem answering that question, I thought maybe other people would too, and that's what the movie's based upon. And thank you for mentioning that. We've received a couple of awards for Honorable Sin, so we're very grateful as well.
Best Woman Director at the Toronto International Women Film Festival for Honorable Sins. That is really awesome, Suza.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. So I'm going to play the trailer
let's play
for the movie. So
sure.
let's see what we're talking about.
Honorable Sins.
You're dead, Evie. You're dead.
Sinners never die at the hands of justice. They die at the hands of those willing to do what's needed.
Did you hear the terrible news about little Cassianne Miller, Mr. Ray?
You're meaner than a rattlesnake.
Something's got to be done.
I don't fight no more. You know that.
Mr. Rennick.
when Cassie Ann Miller's small, crumpled body was found.
My mom said I can't go with strangers.
Violated and broken. Everything changed. We're never gonna be the same after that. Now Haroldburg is a somber little town. It's a town knee-deep in sinners.
You better get going.
Sinners who prefer to keep their dirty deeds hush, quiet, and respectable life.
Woo, Heavy! You sure, ferocious one?
They say violence begets violence, but I didn't hear of no killer quit killing you because you used your table manners.
He's getting away, Riddick!
Ain't no doubt what we did was a sin.
We know what you did to Cassie Ann Miller. The good Lord died for our sins. It's about time you died for yours. Riddick, give me the knife!
But I reckon it was an honorable sin.
Wow.
That is intense just watching the trailer.
Mm-hmm. When we had Sonny on, we actually talked about it a little bit as well. We had him on several months back.
Before it was done,
Before
yeah.
it was released.
Before
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, we were fortunate that we had a really lovely, we've got a really good team who really want to do their best work, and they really want to, and you can tell when you work with people who are like, well, I'm just here twiddling my thumbs, or I really want to do something well. And I love the actors. And I think being a director, if you love actors, I think it helps a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
if you admire them, it's kind of like gymnastics. I admire actors and I love what they can do. So I think that kind of comes across in your work, I think, as well. So, yeah.
We have a comment there.
Show a couple of comments.
Okay.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
And
Danny Lopez, so good to see you kicking butt at what you love. So proud and humbled by you. Continued success. You are inspiring, my beautiful. Aww.
Oh, I love Danny. Danny is amazing. We met I think at LA, and when he was in Calgary one time, we met up and we just had an amazing time. I love Danny. Danny's doing amazing work right now, and I was fortunate to see some clips of his, and he's really coming up there, and I'm hoping to work with Danny at some time. I love his camera setup. I'm like, Danny, I'm envious. What can I say?
yeah, I think, yeah, we are friends on Facebook. I think it's in LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about how important it was that you saw diversity when you saw when you were doing martial arts and you saw these people in films and things. And I love this part in your bio, your mission statement. I'm just going to read that. Your mission statement is to create film projects that reflect the diversity of life as you experience it. Acutely aware of the lack of diversity in many programs, she explicitly looks for opportunities to flip the narrative from traditional storytellers. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think just one example of this. When I was in Atlanta, I was invited to go to see a black rodeo. It was amazing. I loved it. But for a little kid growing up in the UK, never heard of a black rodeo. I didn't know there were things as, African Americans who were, cowboys, and because I'd never seen them. And trust me, I watched lots and lots of Westerns when I, was a kid. But as I said, it wasn't until I was older that I ever saw a person of color. And I realized, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is it because there aren't any, or is it because none are shown. So, when I go out the street, I see all kinds of diversity, but when I switch on the television, that's where it stops. It's like two different worlds. So that's always been a goal. And I'll tell you a very quick story. At the Grammy Award winner, Regina King, I was at an event in Banff, and I was there. I was pretty much the only person of color there when she was there, the ABC Company of Distinction. And I was fortunate to meet Regina King. And I said, listen, Regina, there's only me here. I'm it. I said, because it's very restrictive for a lot of people of color. Well, anyway, can't prove this, but the next year, Netflix had offered 100 free places, complimentary places for women and for people of color. So by speaking and making comments, you can actually make some changes. And I put that down to Regina King. But as I said, it was just something that if you speak, things can change. And things are changing.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
I'm glad to see those changes.
Me too.
Because the way I believe about change is that whether you want it or not, it's going to happen.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And we are in charge of what kind of change we want to see. Because a lot of people think that if I do nothing, it won't change. Mm-hmm. But in reality, is one of the examples that I give. I think this is from my book. If you take a piece of bread and you put it on the table, and you don't touch it at all, it doesn't move, that piece of bread is going to change without moving. It's going to change, but it's going to be an undesirable change. Right. But if you take it and you put it in your mouth and you start eating, it's still going to change, but it's going to be a desirable change.
Exactly. And you will get the benefit by eating the bread rather than letting it drop, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. And that's why when we move, we are creating the change that we want by actually taking action.
Yeah.
That's very wise words. And really sometimes, I'd say myself, I was very pro, let's get things. And then at the end I said, is this really working? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth speaking or whatever, or, pushing for this? And then eventually, slowly by slowly, enough people do it, and then you start seeing changes, which are beneficial. So it takes all of us, I guess, to, do what we're trying to find, try to create the outcome that we want to see.
Oh, mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that also, I don't know if you know Demetrius Angelo, but he runs the Urban Action Film Showcase.
I know him very well. He's a lovely person.
Exactly. That's one of the things he's trying to bring out with bringing all these different people together. Because he said urban does not just mean Black.
Absolutely.
It's like New York City. It's a huge melting pot of all these different cultures.
That's true.
Absolutely. So like you said, one person, then another person, then another person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to Oregon?
Yeah. He's doing great work. I spoke to him. We actually had a Zoom meeting a couple of months ago. So we hadn't spoke for a couple of years actually because I met him at the Urban Action. I don't remember how many years ago, but we had a Replicant there. So it was So yeah, he's a great person, and he's such a big supporter of the martial arts and urban work. So yeah, brilliant person.
Mm-hmm. We had him on the show before, and he started preaching, and oh my goodness, he went on, and he was awesome.
He was very entertaining.
Yes, very
entertaining.
Excellent.
So, what do you have coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've just been talking to get a slate of our films funded. That's what we're working on now. So when we say a slate, 3 films, our next 3 films, but everything isn't in place as of yet, but we have had a lot of meetings towards putting this in action. So those 3 films are Valetica, which is the follow-up, the sequel to Replicant, which is an action espionage film, international espionage. The second one is the follow-up to the one that you just played, The Honorable Sins. So we've got a sequel to Honorable Sins. And then the third one is the first time I will be doing a pure pure martial art movie. It's called Seven Deadly Masters.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so all the amazing people, that we've mentioned, we want to film that. That's in development, but we've had it in our mind for maybe about 4 or 5 years. And that would be the first time doing a purely martial art movie, because most of the other ones have, dramatic or, storylines, thriller or something, but this one will be a pure martial art. So we're really looking forward to that.
That was
so
awesome.
am I.
Yeah.
I want to see that one too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're also back to Italy in October.
Yes.
So we'll be getting our tickets soon, right?
Yes. I hope. I expect you to send me the clip of, oh, here's my ticket.
Okay, we will do that.
It's stunning. It's an amazing event. You will just adore it. You will just love it. You will just be like, oh my gosh, and yeah, you will love it.
Are you going to be going to the Action magazine?
In November, right?
No,
Is that the one you're talking about?
Usually January.
Oh, the one in Atlantic City.
I might do. I didn't get to go to it this year, but I was very grateful to receive an award from there. So this time I'd like to go actually for this year. I did miss it last year, but I definitely would like to go. So haven't got the invite yet, but I'll,
Yeah, the year
before. Mm-hmm.
With and he has created a network, and a world martial art network, and Osho is going to be there.
That's amazing. And is that with Sifu Alan Goldberg? Okay, I know very well. I saw it, and Dennis as well was involved in. They have is it a weekly show or a monthly show?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's amazing, and all that it's doing is helping martial artists, because one of the reasons we've done what we're doing is because I grew up and just being inspired and loving the martial arts and just having something that just made you feel really good. And then I saw that things started dropping off, like after 80s, 90s, 2000s. Then it became stunts. So then a lot of our martial artists, they didn't have anywhere to go. So you train 20, 30 years, there's nothing at the end of it for you. So we've made it our goal and our mission. We're a boutique small company, but we work a lot with martial artists, and we want them to have a venue. We want them to have something to do afterwards. So the more people that get involved doing movies and working with martial artists, I believe it's a platform that I love supporting, and I want to see the small kids coming up saying, hey, there's still movies with martial artists in it where they have somebody to admire. So that's our particular goal, to push martial artists, and we love working with martial artists.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I still do martial art every morning.
I saw you was in the garden, and Crystal was coming back. She was like, and you were in the garden with your sword.
I'm like, okay, I just came home from work. What's going on?
You never know when I'm going to be doing something.
It's funny because one day my oldest daughter walked in the door. I think you were doing maybe a shiatsu treatment on me or something, and she walked in the door. She's like, my friends would never understand my life. And we're like,
oh wow.
Yeah.
But that's what makes you so interesting, because I think when you're doing things that you love, I think it's people like yourselves are great to be around, because you have a vision, you have a passion for something, and you can kind of feel that. It's at an energetic level that you can feel when people are loving what they're doing and kind of going for it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, we can absolutely tell that you love what you do just through your pictures, Suza.
Thank you. Thank you. So sweet. Thank you.
And you could see the joy in your smile, and I know that, and we wish you great success with everything that's coming up. And any way that we could help, we are going to do that.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you, and I'll be sure to tune in for your next. Who have you got coming up? Tell me. Can I get a little sneak peek?
Know who's coming on Monday?
Sometimes we have martial artists. Sometimes we have musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the person, I was hiding this from my wife, but he's an old friend of ours that he worked for
Bally's.
Bally's.
He worked for Bally's, yeah.
And he does a
In
lot
Manhattan, the gym.
of the commercial, a lot of the promotion for them. And he's a personal trainer.
Oh wow.
We actually grew up together. He's like my very close brother from another mother, so to speak.
Oh, fabulous. Awesome.
Yeah, and you probably have seen him. He's on TV all the time doing commercials.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be sure to tune in. It's just after my taekwondo class, so hopefully we don't run late because I left class early today, so I can be here. But I'd like to tune in. And it's great that thank you for doing what you're doing and, kind of supporting other people. So that's really good for us, I guess,
Yes.
Well, you are so welcome.
We believe in promoting each other. And we had a lot of friends that came up. There's another thing that is coming up. I probably send you a private message because I haven't heard back from him, but I'm trying to do something that's going to blow people's mind.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Fun.
So it's going to surprise me too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Suza. It was such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. And thank you for thinking of me and reaching out. I really sincerely appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you.
Continued success.
Yes.
And let me see.
Oh, another comment from Daryl.
Tell Daryl, thank you so much, Daryl. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time and sending messages.
Suza, this will be available on YouTube for you to share as much as you like. Once again, thank you for joining us live on Tweed Talks.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Well, we haven't had a bad guest yet.
Nope. Not a one.
You could tell by his smile.
Oh my gosh, I know
that she's really into what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate. I forgot to ask her about if she was involved with Made in China.
Made in Chinatown. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Harvey Morris is watching now. Hey, Harvey. Harvey, I just saw that you released your new single. I think. Yeah, I believe he posted it in the comments somewhere on a post. I believe so. I saw it somewhere or on his page, but I did see it, Harvey. So thank you for sharing that. Daryl commented earlier about how he said that he was flying to the NCAA gymnastics championships in Fort Worth. I and as I mentioned before, a little earlier in the show, I am so excited about the Olympics this summer.
Oh, you are?
Last year was a weird year. Like it was just weird. It
was supposed to be last
year.
Like,
I don't even have to explain it or expound why 2020 was weird. You just say 2020. That's it. And people know what you're talking about. So I'm so excited. I saw like a little tease this morning before I left for work.
Right, Casino.
They showed a little bit of the swimming, like a little swimming tease. And that is just one event that I absolutely love. It's like you're on the edge of your seat. That, and I love track and field. Oh my gosh. I ran track only 1 year in school, and I regret not running throughout high school. And that is one thing. If you see me post, I posted track videos from when my daughter was running track.
Yeah.
And I scream pretty loud.
Yep.
In the video. So if you guys ever watch those videos, I apologize ahead of time for being so loud.
Well, that was interesting. I couldn't really tell because I think that he told me 2 Mondays. So I got to make sure of that. And then, but I will send Suza a private message when we get the guest for next week, because I think it's next Monday. If not, then it's going to be Music Monday again.
Okay.
Okay.
I just read the bios, guys, and go with
you
the
do
flow.
a very good job.
Go with the flow.
Okay.
I really loved her mission statement, though. Just, to have
she was fantastic.
diversity in her films.
Her
and
film
projects.
sold out, by the way. So,
Read it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to say good night.
I think Pedro's hungry.
Yes,
So
I am.
I'm gonna feed him.
Um,
Thank you guys once again for joining us live on Tweed Talks. Pretty soon we're gonna be outside, guys.
outside show.
Outside.
Gotta get a new camera. For that.
Listening to the frogs.
And-
Our friends that are outside.
And the cricket.
And the crickets there. They're loud.
Okay.
Thank you guys for joining us live on Tweed Talks. And as usual,
Love, peace, and harmony.
Thank you, Suza.